I am Efata, and this is my testimony, shared with my own voice and translated from Portuguese to English. My name is Efata. I'm from Brasilia, the capital of Brazil, and this is my story. Today, I work as a model and sometimes an actor. I've done some background roles in commercials, walked a few catwalks, even had some small parts in Netflix series. It's not like I'm some big-time actor, but these opportunities keep finding me. I never go out looking for them, they just knock on my door. That's how it's been, whether I was in São Paulo, Brasilia, or even now in Europe. And I like it. It helps pay the bills, but it's not my life's passion. What I really love is music and ministry. Sometimes people call me to do studio sessions, vocal harmonies, live worship, things like that. That's what lights me up. That's where my heart is. But where I came from, it's a whole different picture. I was born and raised in Brasilia. Life took a sharp turn when my father passed away. That moment shattered me. I remember thinking, if I can survive this, I can survive anything. But I never really healed from that loss. Even now, after all these years, I still cry when I think of him. I miss him deeply. After he died, the family dynamic changed. My older siblings got married and moved on. It was just me, my younger sister, and my mother. We tried to support each other, but it was hard. When my maternal grandparents passed away in Belo, Horizonte, my mom had to go settle things there. She wanted me to come along, but I refused. I had a girlfriend, and I was head over heels. I didn't want to leave her, so I stayed in Brasilia and moved in with a friend in Ceilândia. His family wasn't thrilled about it. Eventually his dad told him, "My responsibility is with you, not him. I don't want to come home from work and find him here." Just like that, I was out on the street. That was the beginning of the hardest part of my life. I was in Ceilândia, one of the biggest and roughest favelas in Latin America. Violence was everywhere. I was a young black man, unemployed, no home, no money. I already wore braids and had a certain style that made me stand out. And in that environment, standing out can attract the wrong attention. I started hanging with guys involved in crime, drug dealers, robbers, killers. I never carried a gun, never robbed anyone directly, but I drove for them. Delivery trucks carrying soda or cigarettes, gas stations, they'd hit those, and I was the getaway driver. That was how I survived, just enough to eat, but still nowhere to sleep. Sometimes I'd crash at women's houses, women who liked my style. I'd give them what they wanted. They gave me what I needed: food, a shower, a bed. I didn't have a cent to my name, but somehow I got by. Other nights, I'd walk the streets, hungry, tired. I remember once sneaking into a friend's kitchen just to steal a raw egg, swallowing it in the bathroom and flushing the shell. That was my meal, for days. I even slept in a doghouse once. It was in the backyard of someone close to me. I won't say their name, but if they hear this, they'll know it was them. I asked for help, and they turned me away. So I slept in the dog's house with the dog. That's how low I had fallen. And the worst part, I could have gone home. I could have asked my family for help, but I didn't. Why? Pride. Pride is deadly. It'll keep you from asking your mom for forgiveness, from telling someone you're hungry, from asking the church for a food basket. Pride will keep you suffering in silence. It kept me from healing. It kept me from my family. It made me lose my teeth. It made me suffer more than I had to. One night, desperate, I considered prostitution. I went to Kina Brasilia, where call boys, night boys, used to work. I thought, I look good. I can do this. I'll make money, eat, maybe get off the streets. So I dressed the part and went to the spot. A yellow car pulled up, one of those flashy cars that were in style back then, tinted windows. I approached. When the window rolled down, I leaned in to talk. But when I looked inside, I didn't see a person. I saw a demon. It wasn't a hallucination. I saw a face that looked just like Munha from the Thundercats cartoon. It scared me so much I stumbled back, terrified. I ran. I took the first bus I could find and got out of there. I believe God showed me that vision so I'd never go back. He didn't just rescue me from that life. He kept me from even starting it. That night, I went back to my usual spot, a street corner I often stayed at. I have a photo of it on my Facebook now. I sat there as the sun rose. And that's when 3 men approached. Young guys, dressed nice, Bibles in hand, evangelicals. I knew it immediately. One of them asked if he could pray for me. I said yes. He told me, while I pray, ask God for something. Not because he's a God of bargains, but just ask. So I did. I said, God, give me a stool to sit on and a TV to watch a movie. And if you do, I'll give you my life. That was it. That was my prayer. Sometime later, I ran into my brother's ex-girlfriend. She had always been close to our family. She saw me on the street and couldn't believe it. What happened to you? She asked. I told her everything. She said, wait here. She came back with clothes and took me to her house. I showered. She fed me. Then she said, I'm going to get you a job. She took me to a brand new Italian restaurant that was hiring. They needed staff, and I was selected to train in the pasta section. I learned everything. Colored pastas, ravioli, torte, spaghetti. Eventually, I became head of that section. They gave me the restaurant key, so at night, I slept there. I ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Saved every penny. With time, I saved enough to rent a house. I'll never forget the day I moved in. I walked into the living room, and right there, a wooden stool, and in front of it, a small TV. I sat down, and the memory hit me like a wave. My prayer. God had answered it. That moment broke me. I knew he'd heard me. I knew it was time to give him my life. I started attending church again. At one service, a praise minister, big guy, bald, was singing. I had never seen someone like him in church, never heard worship like that. It blew me away. I kept going back. One day, he walked right up to me during service and said, God's going to make you a minister of praise. He introduced me to the worship team. They embraced me. I got involved. That's when my calling began to unfold. But I won't lie, I made mistakes along the way. I fell, I stumbled, I delayed my process. But I never gave up, because I don't serve God for the platform. I serve Him because I love the Holy Spirit. I love praise. I believe music is alive. Music carries the presence of God. I joined a gospel choir. We performed all over Brazil. Through that ministry, I met top gospel artists, shared stages with people I had once only dreamed of. I became known, but I also let fame and ego trip me up. I did things I regret. I lost time. I hurt people. Still, God never gave up on me. If you're watching this, if you're homeless, hungry, broken, ashamed, I want you to know God sees you. I was you. I've slept in the street. I've eaten raw eggs in a bathroom. I've begged. I've cried. I've tried to sell my body. But God rescued me. He loved me even when I didn't love myself. If you see someone on the street, don't look away. Don't give them money. Give them dignity, help, a word, a meal, a prayer. You never know who they are. You never know who they'll become, because I was that man on the street. And now I'm here, still flawed, still learning, but standing, singing, serving. God gave me a new life, and I gave it back to Him.